Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a review of Svalbard Lufthavn Longyear. It's situated far north of Norway, but it's a Norwegian owned and operated airport by Avinor. We are here at the ramp, and let's just go down the stairs. This beautiful winter morning here in the north, no clouds at all. And we're using the Phoenix A320 as our test subject here for to see what FPS we get. So this is going to be the aircraft I use on yeah, this size of airports going forward when doing reviews here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So this airport has been built by iniBuilds for 2024. And we're going to have a quick look around, just look at the modeling, look at the accuracy compared to what we can see on Google Maps and stuff like that. So the ramp, as you can see, this isn't a big airport. They have one terminal building. They have a tower. And this is not a full ATC airport, it's AFIS, so it's just traffic information from the tower service. They have some hangar buildings. From this airport, you have some scheduled commercial transport. SAS and Norwegian fly here from both Oslo and Tromsø. But you can also get some charter and other traffic, especially during the summer months. What we can see over here in the distance is the city of Longyearbyen. And up in the hills, the little blue-green thing, that's the global seed vault, and we're going to have a look at that later on. And besides that, there is a mine called Mine 3. This is also modeled up here in the hills. Not sure if that's just a default, but the global seed vault has gotten an upgrade, even though seems to be a little bit of a bug going on there. So we're parked just right where they usually park the jet aircraft, in front of the terminal. And we're gonna have a quick look around the airport first. So we are inside the terminal, and they have modeled some of this, but not everything. You have a kiosk and a little shop here with some static models, some of them more creepy than others. And yeah, this is nice. I think this is a very nice compromise. Um, it's good for the FPS, but you still get a little bit of details. If we just jump through this window, you get out to where the bus, taxi, and pickup drop-off zone is. And you can see the windows here are just models, so nothing modeled on the other side here, just some textures on the wall. Norwegian police car. And if we get around the corner here, we have the parking for staff and entrance to administration and tower facilities. Let's move up into the tower. And this is also modeled quite nicely. We have a few happy people here working, drinking coffee, and what a lovely view. Just think about sitting here and this is your work view. It's quite amazing. So you can have a look over the fjord. You have full view of the airport up to mine number 3 and to the global seed vault and into the city as well. Moving back down to the tarmac, there's quite nice modeling or texturing of the airport itself. there is tracks of where vehicles and aircraft have been moving. So that's a nice touch. And you have accurate and up-to-date runway signs, nice lighting. You have the whole short lights, and everything in general seems to be correct and in the right place. They even modeled some other aircraft. You have a static 172 modeled over here, and you have de-icing equipment and the service vehicles for the airport as well. Over here we have some garages. So I'm guessing this is for the de-ice equipment and other vehicles for the airport. They of course have to maintain their vehicles as well. You have runway clearing when it's snowing, more like it does quite a lot up here. So that's modeled as well. And then you have this big hangar. And this looks like it's been converted to just garages and offices maybe. No chance to get an aircraft in here anymore. You have the nice sign and texturing on the fronts of the tower and terminal building seems to be correct from what I can see of Google Earth. On the other side of the airport, you have some more business buildings. I know that you have quite a lot of helicopter traffic here as well from the local authorities and search and rescue. Lufttransport is one of the companies that operate helicopters, and I think they used to. I'm not sure if they still have aircraft here. They used to fly Dorniers. They might still do that. And you also have a model of CHC helicopters here. I think they're contracted for search and rescue here in this region. On the other side of those buildings, you have parking, airport access, and like I said, Lufttransport is based here as well. So they have their office entrance with the correct signage over here, and that's correct based on what I can see from the real airport. You have the drop-off zone as mentioned, and just some more parking and exit entrance. And this sign is here in real life as well, just showing the distance to different places in the world. As for runway texturing, we can see they have a grooved runway here, and it shows sign of landing, some new asphalt patches, repairs being done, and this airport is quite special. It's situated very far north. It's the most northerly airport in the world with scheduled flights. So it's situated roughly 78 degrees north, and when it opened in 1975, it had already been used for quite a while in other capacities for some local traffic, and it was also used during the Second World War. I think it just was gravel runway at that time. The ground it's built on is mostly permafrost, and this creates quite a lot of issues with keeping the ground stable. So permafrost is that's the kind of ground that never thaws out during the summer months. But if you have parts permafrost and parts not permafrost, where things melt and then you get different levels of movement in the ground. So that's one of the challenges of operating an airport in these conditions. So this airport is certainly a key gateway in the north for the permanent residents, tourists, and all the research that is going on up here in the polar areas and its surrounding islands. So in the hills overlooking the airport and yeah, the city is just behind the mountain here. you have quite a special building. It's the Global Seed Vault. This was opened in February 2008 by the Norwegian government, and it's designed deep down in the Rocky Mountains here to preserve seeds and genetic materials in case of a global disaster. And yeah, so all the time, countries and institutions around the world, they will gather seeds and things that can be stored here, and they send it in. I'm not sure how many samples they have, but I see that it's in the tens of thousands every time they get a shipment up here. So yeah, I think their goal is to preserve as much of what the Earth has to offer right now for the future. There seems to be a little bit of a bug going on with the scenery here. This blue-green building, that's iniBuilds model, and it looks like there is a default very gray-looking similar building just besides, and I think that's the default. And the same with what I'm expecting is the visitor center over here, or offices. So, but yeah, a very, very nice little touch for the surrounding area. So the airport itself is situated here along the fjord, and the runway directions are 0927, and it features a 2,477 meter long runway. Airport elevation is 94 feet with about 70 feet on the runway ends, and it features ILS localizer and RMP approaches with, I think it's only ILS from 09. That's the usual approach direction. So we're also going to have a quick look at the airport during summertime. And as you can see, the texturing around the airport changes dramatically from the snowy landscapes we had before. And the mine is clearly visible now when the snow is gone. And one interesting feature is the observatory on top of this tabletop mountain just by the airport as well. And you have this lovely view over the fjord. Of course, there's large parts of this island that stays covered in snow and glaciers all around the year. So it's just here in the lower regions, just by the water, that the snow completely disappears. But yeah, very, very different landscape. We're also going to have a quick look at the ground polys around the airport. I haven't seen anything that stands out as any big bugs or stuff like that. The taxiways seem to be very even, no jumps or edges. That's wrongly modeled. The airport is modeled with the airport fence, I think, all the way around. And the runway is nice and straight. I'm not sure how bumpy the real runway is, but yeah, it has a curvature to it. So I would expect this to be pretty accurate. Not a very hard terrain to flatten this, but one thing I do expect in real life is that you might get the permafrost, or where it's not permafrost, that you get some sagging of the asphalt and stuff like that. So it might get a little bit bumpy, but let's have a look here in the transition between the runway and the taxiway. So it seems like there is an elevation change slightly down to the left. So that's nice to see, but it's not excessive like some, I think, wrongly modeled airports that suddenly get a little jump or an edge where they change the textures. Very nice. Yeah, they haven't really cut down the bushes around around these signs. So nice little detail as well. Yeah, overall this looks very good. Textures look nice. The grooving of the runway is accurately pictured and not present on the taxiways as expected. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit and I've powered up the aircraft. Everything's running and we are going to do a few tests, and hopefully this is the test regime I can run on every airport we try out. So we're just going to start out with taxiing to the runway. I have the FPS monitor running up in the corner. So we're just going to taxi out and have a look at how that behaves. Then I'm going to depart and we will jump over to an approach and landing to see how it handles that as well. So far it seems pretty good. The clouds, or the weather rather, is the broken preset. And so that's what I'm gonna do for these tests to keep it equal. So now we're lined up runway 09 and we will depart, just do a visual turn to the left, and we will head for Nesas, one of the initial approach fix for RMP Zulu 09, and then I'll join back up here in the video with how that looks when we're coming in. Manflex, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. E1, rotate. Positive right, gear up. Nav. So we are back on final, and the aircraft is fully configured. As we can see from the stats on the top left corner, I'm getting an average of close to 60 FPS, but I think the important number here is the 1% low. So far it's been very stable. And in case you're wondering what is the 1% low, the average FPS, well, that's the average, right? So what we want to see is how low do the FPS actually go. And the 1% of the lowest FPS is now just over 40 FPS. So we're gonna take over and fly it manually here. Seems like the glide path for the RMP is a little bit high. Autopilot disengaged. It's a very beautiful approach though. So different to the normal city and approaches into forested or areas, stuff like that. So it's a very unique airport if you want to have something a little bit out of the ordinary in your library. Slightly high descent rate, but we'll just keep going in.
100.
FPS is keeping pretty good.
40, 30, 20, retard. Retard.
And I over corrected. Oh well, we're down. FPS is dropping now. We're cruising past the terminal buildings, but it's yeah, it dropped about 5 FPS. So not too bad at all. Of course, this isn't a scenery-heavy environment to operate in. It's just a lot of landscape mostly, so it's not a very demanding big airport. So it's going to be interesting to see how this compares to other similar airports and to the bigger airports. iniBuilds done a good job here. They say it's optimized, but only future tests will show. No stutters, no loading artifacts or LOD issues as far as I could see. Everything behaves quite nicely. So let's just park it there. I'm not gonna shut down now. So overall, what do we think about this airport? In my opinion, it's a very cool little airport. It's very different from the usual Central European, Asian, American airports. It's a bit more extreme. The route to get here is just over vast expanses of frozen water, and you get a very different environment as well. So, is it worth getting? Yeah, I think so. It adds something completely different to your library, and it's well modeled. It's not a very advanced airport by any means, and I think that's a good thing as well. In my opinion, I've never really liked the extreme modeling, especially of interiors of some airports. It just tanks the performance in many cases. For me, as a pilot, it's the flying, it's the environment. But of course, everyone differs here, so I'm just giving my opinion. This airport seems to be pretty accurate, and there's nothing glaring standing out. The seat vault has a little bit of a um, double building issue from the default, so that could be fixed. This is just version 1, so if there's any bugs or things that should be fixed, I'm sure iniBuilds will be open to have a look at that. But as a complete product, I don't think there's anything wrong with this, and the performance is good. Not a very demanding environment, as I said. So, yeah, overall, I think this is one to get if you're interested in flying up here in the north. And as I said, the normal routes are Oslo and Tromsø, usually Airbus via SAS or a 737 via Norwegian. But if you have a look at the history on Flight Radar, you can see Enter Air, for example, have come up from Antalya, Paris, I think Amsterdam as well. So you could set up some summer routes or a charter or whatever you want to get to this airport. Um, yeah, so that's it. I think we'll just wrap it up here. And if you like this kind of review, please leave a comment. Is there anything else you would like to see? Is there anything else you would like included in these reviews? Then yeah, just let me know. And if you like my channel, like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I hope you have a pleasant day wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.